Mhm.
All right, guys, question of the day today. Should I sue George Floyd's family? I'm thinking that it should for emotional distress. Plus, later on, we'll be talking about the BBC because they've apparently prepared secret scripts that could be read on air if energy shortages cause blackouts or the loss of gas supplies this winter. All that and more today on Can of Stones. So, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, that is the title of my smash hit documentary. It's all anybody seems to be talking about these days online. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go so that you understand why it's causing such a headache for so many people. People are angry. How dare we? They had decided on the narrative already. Remember, George Floyd is a hero. Derek Chauvin is a monster. How dare anybody have the audacity to go backward and to re-examine what happened in this country during the riots, during the looting. Now, personally, I think that I deserve an Emmy Award, I don't know, something, a Pulitzer, Nickelodeon Award, anything. I don't know if it's going to happen because I'm recognizing that instead, what the media is trying to do is to double and to triple down on their lies. So my friend Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, went on Drink Champs. This is a podcast. The funny thing is I was supposed to go with him, but I couldn't because my young son got sick that morning. And so I did not go down there. And what has happened is he began, because EA went and spoke about the documentary, he spoke openly, basically was giving a critique of a documentary, a positive one, a review, if you will, and he told the truth about the levels of fentanyl that were found in George Floyd's autopsy. He told the truth because he watched the documentary. He told the truth because he was at the premiere. And like many people who have seen the documentary, he is upset with how we were lied to, how Black America in particular was lied to. So because of this, Roxy Washington, that is the mother of George Floyd's daughter, so George Floyd's baby mama, she has retained the services of a law firm in preparation to file a $250 million lawsuit against Ye for the comments that he made about George Floyd's death. Wow, that is incredible. Imagine going on air and telling everybody about a documentary that you watched, a documentary that is completely factual, a documentary that had experts, a documentary that used excerpts from the trial itself, and you decide that your grift just must keep on grifting. Oh my gosh, I am not, no, I'm just going to file a lawsuit against Ye. In case you didn't know this, guys, Ye has already given that family $2 million. Yes, because perhaps he even believes that it was a racist event, that Derek Chauvin did this because he hated Black men, and now some clarity has been provided, and he is trying to extend that clarity on a podcast to people who maybe have not seen the documentary yet. So let's first take a listen to Ye's actual statements that he made on Drink Champs.
I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace always put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary.
So I would like to first again impress upon you that Ye has already given this family $2 million. What did they do with that $2 million and the other millions and millions of dollars that came running for them? Nobody knows. I know what they didn't do. The documentary shows they didn't go to George Floyd's house and pick up the stuff. They allowed his car to rot in the driveway and then go with the roommates or his last place for the 5 years preceding his death. They didn't care about any of that. They did get in front of cameras and cry. They did get in front of cameras and talk about, how much they loved him, the roommates which is in a clip that we actually didn't air, told us that they had never even seen any of these family members. They had never seen anybody that they saw on air talking about how much they loved him. It was the roommates that actually spent the most time with him for the last 5 years of his life. So it was interesting. It's interesting. It's a compelling story. How honest are they being in their expression of their emotions, of how close they were and how much they loved George Floyd himself? I don't know. We've left that up to interpretation after the documentary. But here's what we know and what we stand by. We stand by the truth regarding the levels of fentanyl that were in George Floyd's body. We're going to give you a clip, an excerpt from the documentary itself. Take a listen.
They had to have the jury believe that it was a neck restraint, it was the knee on the neck, it was asphyxiation that killed George Floyd. However, there was a ton of evidence that George Floyd consumed a toxic, lethal cocktail of fentanyl and methamphetamine.
Did it appear that Mr. Floyd said, "I ate too many drugs"?
Yes. Let's put it in perspective. 3 grains of fentanyl on the head of a lead pencil, enough to kill you, enough to kill me. And so they had to continuously inculcate the public to believe that Derek Chauvin intentionally, premeditatedly murdered George Floyd, and drugs had absolutely nothing to do with it. As Lindsay and the toxicologist presented that awful testimony.
Do you recall describing the...
I recall describing it in other circumstances. It would be a fatal level, yes, in other circumstances. Had Mr. Floyd been home alone in his locked residence with no evidence of trauma, and the only autopsy finding was that fentanyl level, then yes, I would certify his death as due to fentanyl toxicity.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
So our documentary also shows that George Floyd said, "I can't breathe," before he was ever put onto the ground. It also shows that he himself asked to be put on the ground. So essentially everything that we were sold, the greatest lie ever sold to via the media, was a lie, right? We were led to believe that he was placed on the ground and unnecessarily restrained against his will. Why couldn't this have just been a peaceful arrest? Well, the answer to that is because he resisted arrest. He kept resisting arrest. They kept asking him what was wrong with him. He didn't mention to them that he was actually sitting in the car when they arrived with his drug dealer. We also go to show you that there was a chewed up pill that was found in the police cruiser that tested positive for Floyd's DNA, tested positive for fentanyl.